couple more minutes here, just 2 or 3 more minutes for still people joining the bridge. So we're just going to get started here in just a few minutes. All right, everyone, we're going to get started with the webinar, and it will be recorded. So if anybody hasn't joined, if you have any team members that haven't joined, there will be a recorded version that you'll be able to get from our knowledge base right after this. So just want to introduce myself for those of you that don't know me already. My name is Dan Rosenrash. I'm CTO here at Viirtue, and I'm also joined by Sean Bailey, who's our newly appointed support manager, which we'll get into in a little bit. I just want to make sure if somebody could just pop in the questions tab, just make sure you guys can see my screen and hear me. Just before we get started here. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Cool. So, so before we get started, we just want to kind of elaborate on that. So Sean was just appointed as support manager. So I'm still going to be here for you guys if you need escalations and ticket escalations. But then, so now actually Sean's primary responsibility. So if you guys ever feel like you're not getting, timely response, or just, you want somebody else working your tickets, whatever it might be, just shoot Sean a message, or you can always just ask for Sean directly. His email is just simply Sean, as it's spelled on the screen, @viirtue.com, and he'll get that ticket reassigned, caught up on all that cool kind of stuff. So we're happy to have him in that role. All right, so today's agenda, we're going to go over basically our new V40 release, what's coming. We're estimating this is going to be July, August this year. We're really trying to shoot for July, but we want to make sure we don't give you a version that's going to have bugs or any kind of inconveniences. So we're really, Sean especially has been heading up testing this version on our sandbox, and that's what we're going to be doing a live demo today on our sandbox as well. And then we're also going to be going over our new mobile app, the second version of it. This one is going to be out much sooner. Our estimated release date is May 28th, give or take a few days, of course. So the new features coming to V40. So a lot of these we're going to be doing live demos of today, so you get to see them in action. First thing, probably the headlining feature of V40 is our Vi boards. These are completely customizable modular wall boards. So pretty cool tool that you'll get to see in action today. We've also added what we call site support. So site support is going to make it more simple if you have a location that has multiple locations, and then you want to break that down in the same account. It makes it easier to do inter location dialing and just break out the accounts so they work a lot more efficiently. We also have a new feature where you can automatically add MAC addresses to Polycom and Untitled Provisioning redirect servers, which we'll live demo today when you're adding devices. SMS Call Center, that's another really awesome feature we're tremendously excited about. Here we have three-way calling finally on the web phone. Per queue login via star code. So instead of logging yourself into all the queues, and when you make yourself available, you'll actually be able to make yourself available in granular individual queues. With our video meetings app, you'll now be able to share your screen without having to install the Chrome extension. SMS chat push support will be coming on the mobile app, and I just wanted to really hit on that. because the mobile app is obviously going to be released before version 40. So we'll have to wait until version 40 is on our production servers before you'll have the actual push support. You'll have SMS and chat. It's just the push support is what's going to have to wait about a month or so until version 40 is out. We've improved CPU usage on the back end just to optimize our service a little bit. And then we've also added support for larger imports for our partners. I know there was a cap on how many you can put in a CSV and then import into our system. So we've moved those caps up a little higher. And then also with our new mobile app, so the new mobile app that you guys will see today is a completely redesigned UI for iOS. I think you guys are gonna really like it. We also have chat and SMS integrated into there, which was very important to us to get that baked into the mobile app. Status messages, Gravatar support. So if you have an account with Gravatar, it'll actually pull that avatar right to the mobile app. We've improved Apple Call Kit functionality and improved the SDK overall, which should improve functionality with cellular networks and reliability overall, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then also Siri integration. Another really cool thing that we want to give you guys a sneak peek at that we're currently working on implementing is a software we just purchased called ClearIP. So what ClearIP is, it's a proxy server that it stops robocalling, fraud prevention, does a lot of really cool things. It's going to have optional a la carte pricing. We're still, from a business analyst point of view, trying to figure out costs and all those kinds of things. So we don't have exact pricing nailed down yet, but we will soon. But what it does is it adds another high-end layer for fraud prevention to our service. So basically what will happen is we have these proxy servers that will sit between our data centers and our carriers. And anytime that there's a potential fraud event, these proxy servers will actually stop those calls before they ever make it out to the carriers. It just really adds another really nice level of fraud prevention. I know, luckily enough, I don't think any of our customers or partners have ever really had too bad of a fraud attack because we have so many layers of fraud prevention in place, but we're always trying to be a step ahead and adding new layers. So we also have for robocalling and spam calls. I know that's another big issue in today's world. So this proxy server will block inbound robocalls if you want them to. It'll identify those robocalls by a fraud score from NomoRobo. And then also, or if you don't want to block all those calls, we can have the inbound proxy tag the calls as potential spam in the caller ID. So if any of you guys have T-Mobile, you're probably familiar with how that works a little bit. So that's some pretty cool services that are going to be added on. And I know probably a question that you might ask, what happens if those ClearIP proxy servers are down? Well, our servers and our carriers will just bypass it entirely, and it'll just work as you're used to today. So it's a pretty cool feature in there. And worst case scenario, if it is down, it shouldn't really impact our service. Right, so ViBoards, again, this is kind of like the headline feature for version 40. So we're going to do a live demo. We're going to build some. I'll show you these in action. But what they are, they're customizable modular wallboards for your call centers. Really, really cool, nifty tools. You can project countless stats with limitless combinations to a TV or other monitors. You can create a competitive environment within a call center. We've actually had these boards up in both of our NOCs, and we really do it. It creates that fun, competitive atmosphere, right? Everybody wants to be number one. And we also have iframe functionality in here, so you can include other data into these boards. What iframe does, for those of you who don't know, is it basically just frames in data from other web pages. So if you have another ticketing system or whatever it might be that you want to throw up in these boards, you can do that all together. We'll also we'll do a live demo of our new feature called SMS Call Center. So what SMS Call Center does is we give you the ability to queue incoming SMS messages and dispatch them to agents. You can do initiation keywords, which will show you in action. They'll make more sense when you see them. We can kind of text help to join the queue. We can do auto replies, things like that. And then you also do get reporting on these different SMS statistics. All right. And before I continue, I just want to add, if you guys do have any questions, definitely just pop them into the questions tab. I know I see a couple of them coming in there. We'll address them toward the end. All right, and then GoVoIP 2.0. So this is our new mobile app. We have a little video here, but we're going to actually be doing a live demo of this today as well. So we were definitely one of the first to have a proprietary mobile app, but I think we can all agree it needed a major update. So that's what this is bringing. And one of the biggest features, besides, as you can see, the full UI redesign, is we have SMS and chat integrated now into here. So you can use it in the portal, the web phone, or the mobile app. It works really nicely. We've been using it internally for, I would say, about 2 months now, and it's been tested out pretty nicely. And the status messages are unified with the portal. So if you set your status in the portal, it will pop up right through there. And then also Gravatar, like we talked about a little bit earlier. And then before we get into our live demos, I just wanted to touch on some upcoming webinars we have. Just be on the lookout for. We have a webinar we're going to be joined by Big Leaf Networks and Tenfold. Big Leaf Networks is really cool state-of-the-art SD-WAN provider. Does a lot of really cool things as far as bonding internet circuits, reliability, things like that. Tenfold provides enterprise-grade CRM integration for some of the big CRMs that people use. And then we also have a webinar coming out for Microsoft Teams for our partners, where you guys can actually sell Microsoft Teams. We just built out a really cool infrastructure in AWS. So it enables you guys to spin up Microsoft Teams if you want to use us for calling plans without having any investment in hardware. So definitely stay tuned for those. Right. So we're going to end the show real quick here, and we're going to pop right into our sandbox, and we're going to go through a few different demos. So basically, the first thing we're going to show you today is what we call our VI boards. So VI boards, again, they're completely customizable. You can customize all these different widgets. You can add boards. As you can see, all the stats, and I think most of all, they're nicer to look at than what you guys are accustomed to for what we've had in the past. So first, we'll just go into one of these boards. We'll go into our call volume board. And as you can see how easy it is. So if we want to edit this board, just truly customizable. You can customize the type of stats you see, different date ranges, alert thresholds. One of the really nice tools to this is you can actually set alert notifications, both visual and audio, within your Chrome browser. But I think the main piece to these VI boards is to throw them up on a TV, something that your entire team can see. You can customize the style, the header details, the font sizes, all that kind of stuff is all customizable on an individual view. And then let's build a new card here. So we'll do add a card. So you simply come here, you click choose type, and as you can see, pretty easy to put together, right? You can choose if you want to go between a line chart, a gauge, a single statistic, a table, or iframe like we talked about, or you can just throw a note up there, right? Something, maybe a quote or something for your team, whatever it might be. So we'll build a little line chart here, and then we'll pop on over to data. So again, you can add data. So what stats do we want to see in this line chart? Do we want to see abandoned calls? How do we want the breakdown? All those kinds of cool concepts. As you can see, really customizable, even to the style. You can customize the axis grid, all of it for each individual granular board. Right? So we'll pop on out of here. And again, just all these are in addition to that, they're customizable via size, where you want to see them. You'll definitely get a chance, obviously, to play with these, but they're very cool, and they're just included as part of that call center package. All right, so the next thing that we'll show to you, and this is what I'm actually personally most excited about, is our SMS call center. So give me 1 second here. We're going to actually bring up my phone here so we can give you a live demo of this. All right. Awesome. So here's my phone right here. So basically, the way SMS call center is going to work is you'll have an SMS enabled number that will actually be a queue. So that number will point to a queue. As you can see here, we've built this text queue. You'll get to choose different SMS options, right? You get to enable or disable it. You get to choose the initiation keyword, which you'll see how that works in a little bit. You'll choose the initiation message, termination messages, all those kinds of cool things. Even if there's no agents available in the queue, you can have an auto reply based on that. So we'll go ahead and, sorry about that, guys. We'll go ahead and shoot a text message to the queue. So when I send that text message, we get the initiation keyword reply back, right? So if I want to enter that queue, we're going to simply type in help. We type in help, and now we're entered the queue, and you'll see here in just a short moment, if we made our sacrifice to the demo gods, there we go. We've got that queue message right here, and I can accept that message. And now we see we have that message going, so I can say, hi, how can I help? And we get that right back there. So, and then once your agent is ready to end that queue message, you simply click end, and now I'll send another message since I've been kicked out of the queue. And as you can see, it's going to ask me to enter the queue again. So pretty cool feature, works pretty nicely. Like I said, we've been testing it pretty heavily the last month and a half or so. And it works very nicely. So we're definitely excited to get that out to you. And then in addition to that, you do get reports based on this. We're going to have more reports coming, but today you actually do get reports. You can see how many total volume of SMS messages hit the queue, the average handle time, all those kinds of things. But we're definitely going to be looking to enhance those reports as well. All right, wonderful. All right, and now we're going to move to our new mobile app. All right, so the new mobile app, GoVoIP 2.0. So again, we should have this available around the 28th of May. That's our ETA. Like I said, give or take a few days. But again, for the most part, the contacts widgets, those kinds of things do work pretty much the same. If you want to send or receive text messages, phone calls, view your call history, as you can see, it works a little bit nicer. Dial pad's down right just there, so it works a little bit more seamlessly. The biggest upgrade and enhancement to this is the chat and SMS application. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to send Sean a message. So as you can see here, we can choose which number we want to SMS if he has multiple. And I'm just going to say, hey, what's up? Go. And Sean had his phone locked, so just give him one moment to bear with us. Awesome. And you see we get a message right back. So pretty straightforward, works as you'd expect. You can also message with colleagues and contacts. As you can see, you get BLF, everything nice and integrated into there. The other really nice feature for GoVoIP 2.0 is, as you can see right here, you do get those status messages nice and integrated into there, answering roles, all those kinds of things. Just the overall use or the feel of the app is a lot easier. I would say it works much better, and then just overall the call quality. Again, we've had those issues with our past apps with drop calls and things like that, depending on your cellular network and all those things. This version works a ton better. It's a significant improvement from what we've had in versions past. All right. And now the next thing that we want to demo, and this is actually the final live demo for today before we'll get into some QA here. So another really popular, what we think is going to be a popular feature is we actually have those redirect URLs for Yealink and Polycom. So this is more geared towards our partners. So when you were adding MAC addresses to a device, in order to add a device to your system, you have to do it in two places, right? You'd have to put the MAC address into our system, and then you'd have to boot up the phone, put in our provisioning string, and then it would auto provision the phone for you. So those of you who are not familiar with Yealink's remote provisioning service or Polycom, what they do is you can add the MAC addresses to their remote provisioning platform, which we'll show you here. And then this way, when the phone boots up, you don't have to put in a provisioning string. The phone just automatically points right to our provisioning servers, auto provisions, just makes it much more seamless. So we've now effectively made this so it's one-touch provisioning. You only have to put the MAC address into our system. So we'll go to our CEO, Rob's account here in our sandbox, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to add a phone for him. So, and we'll show you just how this works. So right now, as you can see in our Yealink RPS and our sandbox, we only have this one MAC in here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to add his phone. I'm going to give him maybe a Yealink T42S. I'm going to grab a MAC address over here. We're going to add that device. So as you can see, it's added on our side. Now we'll go into Yealink's remote provisioning. And as you can see, it's added right there. So pretty straightforward, easy to use tool. We just have to link it to Yealink's RPS for you. But it should make provisioning your devices just very, very easy. All right, and then one little bonus thing before we start getting into, I see there's a bunch of questions, we'll start answering these. For our partners, we have a new piece of marketing material, where the sell sheets here. These are pretty cool because you actually have 6 different concepts in here. So as you can see, there's 3 different pieces of marketing material in this one sheet, but you can customize between those different pieces of marketing material. We actually have that you don't see here. We have web portal highlights, an FAQ section, and also a productivity infographic that you can customize in here. So if you don't want to show pricing to your customers on the sell sheet, you can easily swap that out with another. These will be branded for you. So we have, it's a whole kit. You can ask your sales rep for pricing if you'd like it, but basically the kit includes designing of this with your brand, choosing which different options you want in the sell sheet, and then also it's going to include 1,000 printed flyers of this as well. So we're definitely excited to get this out to you guys. All right, so we're going to go into some QA. We have a lot of questions here, so we're going to start popping through them. So first question, yes, there is an Android update. Sorry if I didn't explain that thoroughly enough. So iPhone is going to be the first update. Android's going to follow. Android, so what I said, completely redesigned UI for iOS. Android's mobile application already kind of looked like the 2.0 version. So Android's is going to be the same stuff. It's just going to be a few weeks after the iOS update. So another question that came in was, how is the proxy for robo and fraud calls different from the current ability to block calls through the portal, which we are currently able to do? So that's more of a a reactive measure, right? Blocking a call after it already happens. What our proxy is going to end up doing is it's going to block them before they happen. So calls based on fraud reports and things like that, and how the calls occur. There's a ton of different data that that it's looked into that it comes up with a fraud score. So we'll actually block the call before it hits our network, and not just for one user. This would be across the board for all of our users, whoever opts into this service to be able to share that resource. So again, it's more of a proactive measure versus reactive. Right, and then SMS available. Yeah, Todd, I hope I addressed that for you. Yeah, definitely SMS and chat are both going to be available for the mobile app, and of course you'll be able to receive calls. Everything you can do today, plus what we showed you today. So for Polycom, another question is, what's the cost for Polycom remote provisioning? I don't think there's any cost. Yeah, there's no cost. Yeah, yeah, it just has to be added to, and actually we handle the RPS stuff, so yeah, there should be no cost to you guys. And then another question came in, is it possible to have auto provisioning for GrandStream? No. Right now, it was just scaling Polycom. I don't even, does GrandStream have RPS even?
I think they do have an RPS system, but it's not the API to write to.
Yeah, so it could be coming down the road. It was just for V40, we just got Yealink and Polycom are in there.
Option 66 still works,
yeah.
With GrandStream. You can put the string in on your DHCP server, and that way when you plug in the GrandStream, it looks for that string, so you don't have to plug it in each time.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So you'd still use option 66 and those other tools. We hope to have more support in a future release. So just for version 40, we were only able to get Polycom and Yealink in there. Right. We had a question about the Eagles. The Eagles do not suck, Vic. Thank you. All right. Awesome. Does anybody have any other questions? Joanne, any documentation ran through? Yeah, so Joanne, we'll have documentation on all these new features, just like any release we do. You will get an email once the release is live, and in that email, we'll have links to all of the new features that will be documented individually. In addition to that, today's webinar will be recorded too, so you'll have I got some more. You'll have access to that. I got some more bad Eagles feedback. I'm sorry, guys. It wasn't my choice. I'm from down there. All right. Any cost for SMS? Yeah, Bolis. So that SMS is going to be the same pricing as you're used to today for SMS, and it's just we enhance that feature with SMS Call Center. So there's no additional cost for the call center side of it. And then for another question is there a concrete live date for the GoVoIP app? So yeah, so as of right now, the date that we're shooting for is May 28th. As I'm sure you guys know with software, that could it could be sooner, it could be later. It just kind of just depends. We're pretty deep into QA, so we're really hoping for those dates. I would say May 20th is probably something you could put up on your calendar. But again, as with anything else software related, don't hold us to it. But that's what we're shooting for. Right. When will the flyers be sent out? So that's a good question. So these are actually these are the mock-ups. I just got them right before we did the webinar, so I figured I'd give you guys a sneak peek at what's going on. So they should be, I would say next week would be a good time where we can start connecting you guys to the marketing team so you can have them customized, and then once they're printed, they'll be sent right to you. Right? Any other questions? Audio issues, yeah. So good question, Bola. So yeah, so again, they're brand new SDKs for both Android and iOS. So a lot of those issues that we were experiencing with drop calls and audio issues with the old app should be fixed. But we'll of course see that on a better scale.
And I've tested Bluetooth with the 2.0 and haven't had any issues.
Yeah, we've been testing, so you should be in good shape. All right. Any other questions? Audio issues, yeah. So good question, Bola. So yeah, so again, they're brand new SDKs for both Android and iOS. So a lot of those issues that we were experiencing with the old app should be fixed. But we'll of course see that on a better scale. And Mike, can you elaborate on that question? Can you talk about the multi-site upgrade? What you mean by that?
On the sites.
Or you mean site support?
All we did is because most of the time we used departments before, and we would write the site in the department field. So what this does is give it sites and departments. So now you can break down your locations and what the person does, whether there's support or not. So it gives you another field and another way to filter by locations and do stuff like that for devices and numbers and certain things like that. It just makes it where you're having multiple locations, it's easier to manage and be able to say what that employee does or their position.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's also going to help us for billing as well. So when, as you guys know, for Vive is out, so it's going to help break down, your individual sites. So and especially enterprise organizations, is really important to be able to break that call data and all that kind of stuff out on site support. So that should help with those multi-location opportunities. For sure. Yeah, I definitely agree. Multi-site billing is important for sure. For sure. Right. Any other questions, folks? All right, awesome. As always, please feel free you can reach out to myself and now, of course, Sean directly or Rob as well. We all love to hear your feedback. Again, we reiterate this, I think, every webinar, good or bad, we love feedback. So please send it our way. We read all those feedback responses and the Zendesk tickets from the surveys. So please keep letting us know how we're doing so we can do better. And we thank you guys for joining us today and look forward to working with you ongoing. So thanks, guys. Have a great day.